Hey guys, if you're looking for a one-stop shop for all your bodybuilding or physique development needs, Trained by JP is the place to go. These are products that I have loved and used for years with myself and clients because I genuinely believe that they are the best around. Like I say, they've got everything a high-performing athlete needs, whether that's tasty protein, cream of rice, or incredibly dosed health supplements, and every single supplement in between at the highest quality that you'll find. Or even if you wanted to dress and impress with a limited edition ranges, www.tb-jp.com is the place to go. Plus, you'll get a 10% discount while supporting me and the podcast by using the code 2easy10 at the checkout. The link is in the description below.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
What's going on there, guys?
How's it going? What you guys been up to? Talk to me.
Well,
Who's first? Sarah, go first. You've been to America, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but I want to know about you.
Yeah.
Well, I went to. Oh my God! Right, check this out. So I dieted off 10 kilos to go to Turkey to enjoy some all-inclusive food, and guess how much I put on in 9 days of eating?
4.
5.
Jack, what do you reckon?
6.
I put on 10 kilos again.
Oh,
Nice.
I put on over a kilogram a day.
Good man.
That is what we call doing a fucking holiday.
What were you eating? What type of?
Jam.
Do you know what? It wasn't that crazy. It was just there was a lot of desserts. I'll say that there was a lot of desserts.
I said to him, I messaged him and said, I hope you get fat, you know.
Do you know what?
You get fat.
Oh, I definitely did get a bit fat. My lower back is fucking squishy right now. But
Yeah, but look how full you look. Fucking.
Yeah, he does look full.
do you know what? I just trained shoulders and arms and stuff. Yeah, and it was pretty good pump. I'll be honest.
Hmm.
It was good. It was good. Very, very good time away. Very good time away.
That's what it's about, man.
How long has it been since you've been away last?
Yeah, it was 20 months. It wasn't until like September 2024.
Wow.
So yeah, do you know what? And I thought to myself, like, should I be a little bit careful? But I thought, you know what? No, I just want to enjoy it. I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
So you know you can get it off, mate, and that's the beauty of it.
Exactly that, man. Exactly that. So yeah, no, I had a great time. Thank you very much. Great time.
Good shit. So Mark, can you tell us anything about your secret mission at the moment?
Well, I can tell you a little bit. Yeah, I mean, so I'm just right now. I am working on. I don't know how many of you seen the series called Alien Earth.
No.
Okay.
So it's basically so you know the movies, Alien movies,
Yeah.
right, with Ripley and all that stuff. And
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Disney,
Love them.
you have taken that on and made it a series, right? So there was a season 1 that was out last year, and then we're on season 2 now. So I've been given the task of getting some of these people in shape. I mean, I can't tell you who exactly, but you know, it's interesting. So I've got 2 guys who are my clients. One is 6'8" and one is 6'9".
Whoa.
I feel Beyonce.
I would love to be able to share this. I mean, because I'm on my iPad on this, so I haven't got the pictures saved. But I'm 5'7.5". If you can imagine what it looks like, it's the picture.
Just talking to the belly button.
Are they
the stomach directly what to eat. Like, right, you digest fucking berries.
Are they good clients, Mark? Do they actually listen? Are they like?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my clients are good clients. To be fair, they are. I'm not going to complain about anyone, or I'll get fired. But I've got that going on, and then I mentioned to you guys obviously something else that's in the pipeline. Can't disclose that one just yet because it's still the rumors are still high about it all and all that shit. So, but yeah, I'm in talks for another big production. Very soon.
Is it always crazy that you can't ever talk about it?
Yeah.
It sounds like some mafia shit.
I mean,
it does.
So it's mostly out there anyway. But you know, I can't really say in case I don't get the job. But I'm already working in, you know, with Marvel and stuff with other productions, just giving it away there basically, haven't I? Really, so, fucking hell.
It's it's like Fight Club. You're not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, it's great. And you know, we'll just
I can say pretty much what everything is. I just can't say what's involved or who I'm training and stuff because of that.
Okay.
Who people are. So yeah, we've got I'm obviously working on the next Avengers movie as well. And then there's a big movie that's in the in the media and socials right now that's been rebooted. So as well keep it as that, and that's all I'll say.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent, man.
Very fucking good.
It's cool, man.
Hence why I'm
cool
in the van studio, because there's people in the gym/studio where I work at right now, kind of discussing about who we're going to be in there working out and stuff. So I'm here in my little, I think it's like the fake taxi, got the fake taxi vibe.
Oh, please do that.
That's awesome, man. Sarah, so how was Tampa? You just got back from Tampa.
What a fucking time. First of all, did you miss me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I missed the dolphin.
Yes.
The dolphin.
Now. A fucking
I forgot
dolphin.
about that.
Dolphin.
I love it. Well, because anyone listening that wants to listen to, I did a review, so like a Tampa Pro review solo podcast. The first part was basically my own personal experience of what it brought to me, of what I'm trying to do in the space. And then I went into, obviously, Paula qualified for the Olympia in WBB. She'd qualified previously in WPD. There was a lot of traction around that, a lot of discussions in the female bodybuilding world, and negativity, positivity mixtures. So I went into that and spoke about, what the show was actually like. But I guess I'll summarize personally for me. It was wild. I've already told Jack parts of this, but I had people that I could never even imagine come up to me and say, "Are you Sarah Parker? Keep doing what you're doing. We need you." Olympians, IFBB pros, organizers of events coming up to me saying, "Am I Sarah?" And I'm like, this is someone that I'd be a fan of. And I'd go, "They're over there." They're over. And, for me, it's like, of course, we don't do these things necessarily for external validation, but I've always said that positive role models for me. And if, for example, any of you were to compliment what I'm doing and say something, we've touched on this before, the external validation from the right people fucking fires me up because it's different, right? It's not yes men. It's not people just saying, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. There's intent behind it. But to have this in reality was wild. I did spend a bit of time crying when it hit me because I wrote a post about Romana and Anastasia and I was like, where the fuck are these tears coming from? And essentially it's, the dream being reality, but much bigger than I ever believed it would be. And I just, yeah, it's wild, but it's the reality now. So I'm very fulfilled right now.
This
Oh,
is what we
congrats.
say,
Love that.
backed by reality, mate.
I think one of the things, because the controversy surrounding women's bodybuilding, someone like you trying to bring some positivity towards it. So it is an important thing, I think. So,
yeah, you've picked up exactly what some people have been saying, that my spin on it, because even the negativity, I will try and wrap that around into, okay, so what can we do about this? Because what I find in the space, and this is probably in all industries, we find a problem, we talk about it on social media or whatever that looks like, but there's no solution offered. So when there's, clickbait stuff and whatever, it's like, "Rah, this is the problem." Right, okay, so what are you doing about it? And this is something I preach, as it were, quite a lot. If you want to see a change in the female bodybuilding industry, well, I started in Bognor Regis on my own, listening to podcasts, thinking, can I do something here? But it's relentless. It is relentless. What I do for the podcast and now what it's quantified to, it's a lot. But how do you know if you can make a difference until you do something, even if it's a little something? So to come together, we all play a part. And I feel like my messaging as well is that I want to foster that we are all equal and we play a part rather than it be like everyone's on a pedestal and people that want to join are like down here. I want it to be that we're all, and this is what I'm seeing, right? This is what I'm seeing from all of these people accepting fans, you know.
Mhm.
It's sick. It's just it's wild. It is wild.
What
But
was your favorite class to watch in person?
so I mean I watched WBB and WPD. There's also talks in the space about the cost to view live streams and to be a spectator at shows. So I paid for the WPD and the WBB and wellness because they separated figure on a different day,
Did they?
unfortunately.
Can I ask you a question, Sarah, in regards to the show itself? And I thought this would have been a lesson that we might have learned from Detroit last year, but what the fuck is it with these backdrops?
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. This is
It's just
Paula
like,
in
what the
Pro
like she's fucking
Bodybuilding.
she's blending into that backdrop.
Yeah, mad. It's mad. Fuck
Does it look
knows.
different in person, Sarah? Is it completely
Yeah, so
different in person?
I mean, in person, it actually, that's a really good point you've raised because I didn't consider this. In person, it looked really cool in regards to like, I love color, I love art, I love that side of things. Even the badges, as you can see, match the backdrop. I've never seen that before. But I feel like
Oh yeah.
now what you're saying now is, and actually when you look at it, there is the blending in, and I haven't thought about that before. Because of course
Yeah,
when we do check-in shots, we look to have a clear
Yeah.
back
background.
wall, don't we? So
Yeah, a few
Well,
people
look
have
at the old
mentioned
school type
this.
of the old school shows were just clear, like especially the old school Olympias, where they were just like really dark background. I mean, they
Yeah.
made a point of it with the Detroit show last year. That was amazing
Well,
quality.
yeah, yeah, because that
Black, it's a
so
black backdrop on it.
for the longest time, Fuad wanted was saying, hey, shows should be doing should have a black backdrop with how they used to be, because even at the Olympia, there's just too much going on in the background, and it takes away from the physique. And you've got the best physiques in the world, and you showcase them like shit. And this is why it's like no wonder people are saying, "Oh, the '90s was better," because when you've got a bunch of flashy shit in the background, and the streaming quality isn't ideal either, you're gonna have this issue. Whereas Detroit, what they did right was free live streaming, black backdrop, and they did it in a theater where the light is pretty decent, and it makes sense because I know for myself that that's actually a show that I am wanting to do at some point in the future, because I want to get into sick shape, fly over and have some good fucking photos. I don't want
Oh,
to go and fly away and there's some shitty lighting where everyone just looks off. It's not ideal. It's not I
I mean,
think
I suppose that looks even worse on the female competitors there than it does with especially the classic. You can just see with the black trunks and stuff because the ladies here they've got the
bikini,
colourful bikinis and stuff, right? I mean,
yeah,
look at that as well. It just that. I mean,
there's
if you
so
look at the
much
lower
noise
shots,
going on. It
I
way
just
love
takes
that.
away
I
from
love
the
you
physique.
that.
And it should just
Yeah,
be about the physiques, right? And
I
it
feel
It's a
like
is
in
business.
just
person, it was like in person. It's so much clearer, and I'll give a bit of insight as well to what I was talking about with live streams there, which is a bit in the air. I am doing a podcast myself next Wednesday about this, but there's a few people coming forward to say how bad the live stream quality is. So you just mentioned that, Jack, and also they cut off parts of the live stream, but the cost for the live stream, if you want to watch, for example, and this was based on figure WPD and WBB across 2 days, it's the price is you have to pay twice rather than for all of the muscle categories.
and you're going to
But
get a lot less coverage there. A lot less people are going to watch it, you know?
yeah, and but also to even just view, I got access to free categories. It was £100,
Yeah.
£100, and it's
what?
and I, of course, going to Tampa in itself, it cost me about 3 grand. So
Woo!
yeah, yeah,
Jesus.
this is why I had to when Anastasia suggested it, I was like, okay, so this is what savings are for. So I'm gonna do the thing, but if you think about this, right, also what entered my mind from a coaching standpoint, of course, depending on your clients and whatever, but imagine if you had like multiple clients in a category in different categories in the same show. You're traveling there, you've got accommodation, or you're supporting someone as a family member. When we're talking sort of £1,000 even away, I mean, it's a lot to
It is a lot. It
You
is
need
a
to,
lot.
if it comes to that, I would suggest that you would include it in your coaching price.
I believe Cal
Yeah,
might
yeah, he does. He
yes.
does. Yeah.
And I mean, in essence, because I remember when I took one of my clients to Denmark, it was £250 for a backstage coach's pass, and I was the only coach backstage. Well, why? Because it's 250 quid.
Yeah. And it's like, if you want to make it accessible, make it affordable, and it makes sense to just whack a sponsor on the live stream, have someone sponsor the live stream, and make it free, and then you'll have more eyes, and then you'll probably make more income, and it grows the sport. It just makes sense.
I almost feel like, the backdrops that are like fucking all singing, all dancing. I almost feel like they're like not bodybuilding fans because they're thinking about how they can make money as opposed to how it's going to benefit the physiques.
But like,
Do you know what I mean?
But it's backwards, right? Because they're so narrow. It seems like they're so narrow-minded with trying to make money. They're actually going to do themselves a disservice, right? With actually making money, because you want, like, wow. I mean, obviously we just mentioned Detroit, that because of the lighting and whatever, and people are more susceptible to those places, and people are more likely to watch the live stream and talk about it and have sponsorships from it. It's like, Sarah, you mentioned that you couldn't take photos in the crowd. And again, they're
Yeah,
just stopping themselves from getting a great amount of coverage at the show.
Agreed.
Yeah, there was a very limited amount of videos on there as well. I heard that because they were giving everyone
They
the
ban it.
message.
I'm fairly sure they ban it. You're not allowed to video, right? You're not allowed to.
I tell you my experience as well, right? So I sat like 3 rows back from the front, and I'd bought general admission. Now I didn't realize there was like this cornered off bit, and it was VIP, and I was sitting in VIP, and it was general admission. I got told off, moved, fine, but that one of the well, that's an insane physique. One of the
It
ladies
is, yeah.
one of the
That's the
ladies,
winner.
a couple of chairs down from me, she was doing a video because Anastasia was on stage. This guy marched up to her and he lost his shit. Now, I don't know how I got away with it, but I took photos and videos for all of the categories, sent them to Hardcore Female Bodybuilding. We ended up doing collaboration posts, and I didn't realize how much because he couldn't get the quality I got from the live stream. So I actually ended up doing some collaboration posts and being able to promote my own podcast, etc., by doing it. But yeah, like people were getting told off. I got in the wrong bit again. He's shouting it. I'm like, what the hell? Welcome to the IFBB. I was just like,
Yeah.
It's like
it's
it's almost like they don't want to grow the sport. It's fucking weird. And do you know what, Jack, you sort of touched on something there. Lighting affects the physique so much. We know this. Like and bodybuilders know this, but a lot of like casual fans don't.
yeah.
And they'll, if you look at the comment section, they're like, "Oh, he's off, he's off." But I'm sure if you're there in person, they're not fucking off.
It's
It's
a part
just,
of
Yeah.
that show, yeah.
do you know what I mean?
That's
And,
always
it,
the
Yeah.
same.
and it's almost like they're ruining it for the athletes. You know?
Yeah, but exactly that. And nothing pisses me off more than the Olympia doing it when, people are screaming at them. It's like, please just sort it out, right? And yeah, putting out things for sponsorships. It's cool, but if the show's better, showcasing the physiques better, you're going to get more eyes, more people sharing, and you can still put sponsorships on like the photos. You can put them, like if all this was black and having the sponsorships there,
Like along there.
Yeah, just around the top.
you
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
even when you
And
say about them like doing a disservice, Jack, I mean, look at, I know the big elephant in the room, obviously, with Nick, right? Nick Walker on that stage, and
Yeah.
people who weren't allowed to film or take pictures of that. I mean, social media would have been flooded, and that would have been
yeah,
more credit to them then.
100%, 100%.
So
And it's
What the fuck?
I think, they need to take, because there's plenty of shows throughout history. There's plenty of people talking. There's plenty of feedback, and there's you can see examples. Right, this looks good. This looks bad. I don't see an excuse for a poorly lit show, especially if it's a reoccurring show, because they've got plenty of examples of what makes
Yeah.
poor lighting, what makes good lighting. It's like, what fans want or what they want to see, what works well. Like, surely they should have like a blueprint there. It could be something to actually standardize the lighting, but that could be a fucking nightmare.
Well, I just think it's a business though. Like the people who are advertising are not thinking of the physiques; they're thinking of how they can make money, and it's silly. It's fucking silly.
Yeah.
Sarah, can I ask you a question? Excuse my ignorance. WP, women's physique and women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Are they judged differently? Is the only difference size? Because women's bodybuilding is the big dogs, right?
Yeah.
Is there different criteria that they reward, or is it the same, just size?
This is what is essentially being exposed in the space. So I don't know if you know Meg Scooby Health. She competed at the weekend as well. So she's also WP. And this is continue. I don't know if you can get Scooby Health up, Jack. So this is a good example of basically when you look at the criteria, and I've had multiple conversations about this. It's very similar, you're right, Ryan, and more size for bodybuilding. Also, we could argue more density, so more mature muscle, because obviously there's a different look, right? So when you look at someone that's been training and they have the muscle density, that can look very different to someone that has size, but it's like not matured almost, if you know what I mean. Like the actual, the real, density in the hard muscle. And I feel like there is such a skewing across the board with WPD and WBB because a lot of athletes don't know where to direct themselves. Now, from a feedback standpoint, multiple athletes at WBB at the Tampa Pro that I spoke to were told, you just need more size, you're perfect how you are. So you can imagine, right? And this answers your question from an athlete perspective. You just need more size. You're perfect how you are. So you spend an off season growing everywhere. But guess what? You go back to stage, maybe you're still not big enough, or maybe there's someone else there that's bigger that you haven't competed against before. So what do you do? Because then also the extension to this, athletes are told we need to see you on stage more. So how do you grow muscle tissue from a dense muscle standpoint to excel in WBB if you need to be on stage more? Is it that there's a reliance on more gear? Like, what does that actually look like for an athlete? Now, when you look at it, like you say, generally speaking, it's more size. However, people are saying for like Meg, and this is sort of going viral as it were at the moment, she's big, right? She is very big. She came third in WPD, and she was told that she's still WPD, but she has got potential to go to WBB. From what I see, I don't want to obviously just put information out on behalf of her, but this is what I've seen from the review of the judges' feedback. Look how big she is.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it's similar with Sarah as well.
Yeah, exactly the same with Sarah and moving to WBB.
I,
Now,
I, I think, go on.
the extension there is with Paula's example, and this is why it's hard for people, I think. So Sarah has been told WBB, she's gone into off season. She will re-qualify for the Olympia next year in WBB. Paula got told you could go to WBB. 2 weeks later, she'd qualified for WPD for the Olympia. 2 weeks later, she qualified in WBB with a stacked lineup of 10 athletes, some of them already Olympians, and qualified for WBB, literally within a couple of weeks span. So how do the athletes understand what to do, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Sarah's then gone into off season to BWBB.
See, this is the issue that female bodybuilders are going to have, female competitors are going to have. And that is pretty much the constant changing of the standard. And it's like people who are wanting to get into figure and they want to grow into figure and they're like, cool, I like that. And then by the time they get to the size that they wanted, it's evolved. And then they have to make this decision. Do I compete in figure, or do I go, do I then push myself harder, further than I really wanted to go? Or do I sort of drop back and go to bikini? Or, and then it's like, especially if they get the pro card, there's this big gap ahead. And then that's where it becomes tricky because, as we know, with females, it's like the effects of just pushing gear is just going to be way more, right? There's a bigger weight behind the decision.
I think it's hard as well, like so Mbga's the example, like she's big, right? She's also conditioned, but the feedback was more density in the back, essentially. Her coach put out a post about it, more density in the back, but she's big. So then if you're WPD and you're same sort of size, but then WBB, you could put a WBB athlete next to her and maybe they're a similar size, but just a little bit less on the back density. It's such a merging, right? Like it's such a grey area. So where do we, and for anyone listening that's amateur and is looking at going pro, like you were just talking about, I met a lady called Nancy. She's figure. When I walked in the gym, I saw her immediately, competitor. Figure is big. Now, I don't know if you saw Tyler Mannion put out a press release type thing to say that now moving forward, figure athletes that have progressed in off season from say last year to this year and had time between preps and progress, they're going to be penalized for being too big for figure. And he put an interview or a press release or whatever out about that. But what it's difficult.
Do
Yeah.
we? What's people's opinions on? I got to be mindful of what I say because I don't want it to be too
Yeah.
offensive. But are there too many categories?
I mean, I would.
Should we not just see who's the best? Who's the best bodybuilder? Because they're all bodybuilders,
Well,
yeah.
see,
So just
the
merge
issue
it.
is like with what I just said, it's like when you've got females who are like, I don't want to go that big and I don't want to, I think the reason why there's more categories is because there's a bigger dispute on what femininity is and what should be. It's like more controversial of what should be female. Like even with as many categories as there are, there's people still arguing and going, "That's not women's physique. That's fucking bodybuilding. That's figure. That's this. That's that." And it's like that's what's crazy. And if you have even less, um, it's going to be like, well, that isn't, say if you just had women's bodybuilding, it's like, that's not what women's bodybuilding is. And people are like, yeah, we want them jacked and freaky. And some people will be like, no, we want them small, petite, and feminine. And then it becomes this fucking mess. So I can see why putting fit model in, I can see the downsides for sure, and I think we spoke about it, but I can see how that leaves room for the other categories to sort of push up a bit more, and for people who don't want to get as big or freaky.
I feel like figure now though, IFBB figure, I look and go, oh, that's WPD. Like take a glance. Oh, that's WPD on Instagram.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's
like
bigger.
if you look at Dana Lynn Bailey, when she won the Olympia, and now she wouldn't even be.
No.
It's bikini now as well, pro. Bikini
Yeah.
pro. And this is the thing where I say amateurs listening, there is delusion in the space. Get to shows. If you think that you are X category or whatever, please do your due diligence. Because AJ agreed with me when he came on my podcast about this. Get to shows, understand what actual competitive bodybuilders look like. If your ambitions and your dreams are to pursue perhaps a pro card, etc. When you see these in person, right? Like wellness, right? Fucking hell. Like we are talking goals, but they are massive. Like
Yeah.
I don't think people understand the
I've got
difference.
this I've got this female client, and she's convinced that she's like physique, and she's not.
Mm,
I'm like because she's carrying a bit of body fat, and
mm.
she has got good muscle, but she's carrying a bit of body fat. In her mind, she's absolutely convinced she's physique. I'm like, you're bikini.
We see this in
You,
wellness. We've seen this.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because
Bikini.
girls tend to hold weight in their lower body, right? So they have
Mm,
big
for sure, yeah.
glutes.
mhm.
Yeah, and my client, I'm like, there's probably a good 15 kilos to come off you, and when it does, you're going to be bikini. And she's like, no, no. I'm like, if you saw like a high level bikini girl in the off season, again, pretty big in person, pretty big,
How
you
how
know?
crazy is that? Like, because I think you really there's a lot of females that really underestimate the amount of muscularity and how long it takes to build that muscularity. But then again, you'll have a bunch of guys who are like, as soon as they want to compete, they're like, I want to be classic physique. And it's like, bro, you're not classic
I found
physique.
as well, like women and men look completely different in off seasons.
Mhm,
You notice
mhm.
that? There's a completely
100%, yeah.
different, I mean, as in, there's a completely different look to women compared to men when they're in off season. Men can like, they could
Yeah,
blow up, but they could still have like popping fucking abs and stuff. And women tend to like smooth out and, it still look really, really feminine.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed.
it's just completely different looks for when women and men
I,
go off
I,
season.
I think as well that the same is true for men. Like because we have people like Neckzilla or Big Ramy, fucking because we've got Samson now, we've got guys like that. People then look at people like Raymond or fucking Bumstead, whatever, and they assume that they're not very big.
I
Mm.
know.
Fuck me,
Liam Jack said this.
fuck me. If you saw Chris Bumstead when he was competing in real life, well, Jack, you
Yeah,
fucking did.
me and
Yeah.
Jack said this. We've said this.
Oh man,
Like, they're
that
big.
show was crazy. That show was crazy, right? Because especially when you pose, you see a different level. Sean Clarita was a crazy one,
Mm,
because in clothes you're like, this because his stature isn't as big. You're like, okay, these guys aren't that big, but then you see him pose, you're like, fuck me,
right
the
out.
density. And people really underestimate how much muscle is there, and then a step above. It's like when when I got my card, I instantly met Samson on stage, and he just won the Olympia, and I was like, Jesus fuck, that's one of the biggest motherfuckers I've ever seen. And then I go to the gym the next day, and somehow I ended up training with Andrew Jacked, and I was like, Jesus fuck, the guy's massive. And because he's so aesthetic, you
Yeah.
don't like you don't think like how big these motherfuckers are, and just overpowering with the stature. And that like obviously I just got my car at the time, so I'm thinking, wow, these guys are the people that I'll be competing against, like that type of muscularity roundabout there. They're the top of what I'm trying to be competing against. Fuck me. There is a big I felt like I was playing Call of Duty and I just prestige and I'm level 1 again, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think even like like classic guys, because a lot of time classic guys are known for getting conditioned, right? Because they have to meet a certain weight cap. But
Mhm.
so there'd be a guy who's like 105 on stage, but off season he could absolutely be walking around at 140.
I look at
Yeah.
Urs Kalinski last year or 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Obviously, he went to Open after that, but when you see him in off season, man,
He was 300
Right.
pounds. He was 300 pounds.
it's
Just
no wonder he
like
had to move
lean.
categories. That was nuts. It was just screaming to get out of that category, to be honest with you.
You've got people in the amateur ranks at £300
Yeah.
walking around,
Reese.
and that's what's fucked. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like there's a few people to name, and it's crazy. People don't understand how big they have to be, but also to sort of on the other hand, people underestimate or can underestimate how much shape can fast track the amount of size that you need, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
So it's like you've got C-bomb, and then you've got I don't know, someone who's got crazy size like a Hassan or something like that. C-bomb would just get out muscle by a crazy amount, but boom,
You know, it's quite
win
interesting.
it.
An interesting one for me is Wesley Fizzers. He's actually the same height and weight as me.
Ah,
So Wesley Fizzers is
Yeah.
we're exactly the same height, exactly the same weight on stage.
ah.
But what you just said there, Jack, his shape makes him look fucking like levels and levels above
Yeah.
me. It's not, you know what
So
I
I
mean?
remember posing against him, and I was like, "Pwah, fucking hell."
Yeah.
You know, that year was
Oh,
so humbling in so many ways. It was all in the same year. I was like, fuck me, I'm a child.
I'm
But
a
it just
child
goes
in
to
a
show
sport.
the levels, because these were all like, top of the sport, man.
Yeah.
And it's easy to sort of overlook just even, yeah, like you say, how these guys have so much mass.
But it's the way it's put on. As I say, people get caught up in body
It
weight.
is,
People get
yes.
caught up in body weight. So like, well, that guy's 250. I need to be 250. Well, no, that's
No,
not how
no,
it
no,
works.
no.
Because
Because
if it was
that's,
just a case of be the same, well, I'm the same size as Wesley. Why is Wesley this good and I'm this good? Like,
yeah.
it's
But
not like that.
I've had that. So Prague was a big one for me, to sort of teach that, because again, the biggest guys weren't at the front of the pack, and I that year I won being a heavyweight,
Yeah,
and not a super, and I was like, oh shit, I'm on stage in Prague as a heavyweight against these motherfuckers. And that really taught me, because I thought, and it's still, can linger in the mind. You go, shit, I need to be really fucking heavy, and I need to be X amount of weight on stage. But it's like, no, really, you just got to look good.
Yeah,
And
you just
yeah,
need to work with what
look,
you've got.
like, it's not about it's the conditioning, it is the shape, it's the balance that you have. And if you have those three, muscularity, you can surpass a lot of people with better muscularity.
you nailed it, mate. It's not how big you are, it's how good you are. And I don't know if you guys saw my most recent post yesterday,
Yeah,
with me on stage at Two Bros.
yeah.
So I actually I lost out in the overall. They moved me in the middle, and then the very fucking last turn, they did two more poses. They moved me out of the middle, so I came second, right? And I lost to a guy who, Danny Moody.
No, I don't know who that is.
Basically, I lost to a
Yeah,
guy. If you look at that photo, I lost to a guy who's so much smaller than me,
Yeah,
but he's better than me. I
yeah.
don't mind admitting that he is. He's more balanced
The
than me. And
overall,
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at us two there, well, it looks like I win, but it doesn't.
you look
If
like
you
a
actually,
beast.
yeah, but if you actually break his physique down, it's better than mine, and I don't mind admitting that. And it's like, yeah, it's how good you are and how big you are.
We
it's
have to
the shape.
build we have to build the tolerance and the fucking brutality around this journey as competitive bodybuilders to do exactly that. And I believe what you're talking about is maturity in the sport. And it's because you can become this like, this is my bodybuilding journey, but I've done everything. Well, majority speaking, so's everyone fucking else.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can get bitter and twisted, and you might feel a bit shitty after, but then you got to sit back and go, whether it's with your coach, yourself, whatever, judge's feedback. Okay, so that person was actually better than me. It
Mm.
wasn't just about pure size, etc., etc. But I feel like
Yeah,
people miss that part
well, yeah,
because you got to learn. You've got to learn what they're looking for.
for sure, yeah, and that is going to be different from federation to federation. But you've got to again split it into these subcategories. You've got size, you've got shape, you've got conditioning, you've got balance. Da, 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 da. And if we take Nick Walker for example, right, he can easily be beaten on shape, but because he's maxed out, like he's a 10-10 on the size and the conditioning and the fucking balance.
Yeah.
He can still dominate with lacking shape. People who are
Yeah.
far more shapely, and that's why, like, when people are like, "Oh, why is Nick Walker winning?" That's why, right? And it's not. People are like, "Well, modern bodybuilding is favoring this or that, the other. You can't say that because you've got Andrew Jack winning shows. You've got Samson winning shows who are very shapely. And it's like, it's people, it's whoever has the best of the whole bunch, right? And that's what you got to do is bodybuilding is just play to your strengths and try to refine those weaknesses. And that's how, because if you just focus on one, you're like, right, okay, I'm just going to be peeled. Cool, you could be beaten by a more muscular guy. Okay, I'm just going to be big. Sound. You could be beaten in
Did you
other
see
areas.
the top four in the Atlanta Pro?
Well, yeah, I was just going to sort of cover these past couple of shows, right?
It's an interesting one when you talk about size versus condition, right?
Completely.
Yes.
I've
Yeah,
got,
yeah.
but before we do that, Jack, are you going to get the photos up and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a hot take and see if you guys agree. I think Nick Walker is as good as he is, specifically because of his hamstrings and glutes.
Well, that back shot was crazy, mate.
Right, so take those away. Take those away. Not maybe that's the wrong way of wording it.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, because I don't think his back in isolation is as good as people say. It's the whole thing. Those hamstrings and glutes make him fucking, you know.
What people also need to consider is, so seeing this in person is that, again, this is a potential oversight or whatever for competitors, maybe new in the game. People fade on stage. So we saw it in Nick Walker's category. And sometimes you can't see that on social media, but when you're there in person, people start to fade. And if Nick gets better on stage or holds where he needs to be, well, there we go. Because and this is the deeper part to it, right? When we're peaking.
I don't know, man. So you saying his hamstrings and his glutes, are making the back shot or
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely think that.
Okay. I don't know about this one though, right? When he did his back double on this one, I was like, whoa.
Okay, so in isolation,
I know what you're saying, right?
His back, take away the glutes and hams, his back loses to Andrew Jack. His back loses to Derek.
Really?
His back loses to Hardy. Hardy in the lat spread, he loses again.
Yeah. So I don't think his back loses to Andrew Jack.
Get it up.
Just
get it up
for a number of reasons.
Well, we're talking about last year now, aren't we?
Well, even at the Arnold's, right, where
the
Andrew
Arnold's,
won,
sorry, yeah,
I
the
think
Arnold's, yeah.
Nick takes the back shots for sure. I do think, because I would say Andrew's weaker shots are his back shots.
Again, I would say because of his hams and glutes, his actual back, I would honestly say just the back. Do you not think that's bigger and better than Nick's? No.
Yeah, I suppose we need to look it up.
Yeah, get a side by side of their two backs.
I got to meet Nick, by the way.
You got what, sorry?
I got to meet Nick.
What's he like?
Yeah. So obvious. I mean, what was super cool. I feel like he was the only one that had a team that big, and they all had Team Nick. So when his mum came, because basically what happens at Tampa Pro, and this is like a prestigious thing that happens at Tampa Pro only, is that when the athletes category is on, so I got to go backstage as well, but I didn't pay for it. So there's backstages upstairs, so the pump up room, they've got mirrors. They don't have kit and stuff, but they've got like mirrors and whatever. So the athletes who are about to go on get their own room. So we're in there, and then the athletes walk down the stairs, and the theatre or whatever we want to call it, where they compete, is to the side. So everyone gets to stand at the bottom of the stairs in a semicircle and watch all the athletes walk down the stairs. And he was walking down after finishing, and it was like, hello, you're Nick Walker. But he was very, considering how many people we had asking him for selfies and stuff, he was very chill, seemed pretty intentful, seemed like a really nice guy. I feel like he spent time speaking to people. But when Romana got a selfie from him, he said to her, I'm only doing a selfie with you because I like your UK accent. That's when he was like trying to get out.
So these are the back shots. What do you reckon? I don't know, man.
Have you got them?
Yeah.
I can't see. Have you shared your screen? Oh yeah.
Yeah, so these are the back shots.
Okay, the back in. Okay, yeah, maybe there. Oh, that's close. That's close.
Yeah, I mean,
Different insertions as well.
It's
yeah,
very,
different.
very close. The back in isolation, I would honestly argue that Andrew can win. Yeah, get that one up there. See the one of all three.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about earlier with when we look at muscle density as well, but also when you look at bodybuilding, there's different insertions, right? So we see the lats sweep
There is.
insert differently across all three.
I wonder what that looks like in person, because I know Nick was peeled and
genuinely there. I could. There's an argument for Nick being third. I don't know if you guys agree or not.
So
I'm talking density, thickness.
Okay, if we're talking muscularity, maybe the lower lats, but again, like Nick's is filled in because Andrew Jack's lats are a bit high. Conditioning wise, Nick will win that, especially where Harry was a little bit off the Arnold, and he's a little bit watery in the lower back. But
I'm talking front to back thickness, as in like how much depth there is.
Yeah.
Get that one there. See that one on the top right, mate? Can you see that one on the top right? No. Left.
This
left.
one here. Back double biceps, Andrew 2, Nick 2. That one.
Yeah, that's the one. Go right.
Right.
That one there. That one.
Oh. Nick looks well young there.
So there's definitely
that's a picture quality that though as well, right? That's definitely a picture quality thing.
That's it. This is what's going to be. This is what I'm saying. It's like being in person. You probably see that there's hardest. There's no denying. Like obviously you include
Nick's lats insertions are totally different there as well.
I can see what you're saying more with this shot, Ryan.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that Andrew takes the back against Nick, but his hamstrings and glutes are so good that it just propels him above everyone.
Look at those insertions on the hamstrings. Oof.
I do agree that the main strength of this is his lower for sure. And I do think, his back, a lot of people say he's got the best back double. I don't know what's going on with my camera today. I've just been fighting it all podcast. But yeah, it's
I don't know, maybe that's a hot take, but it's just something I've thought for a while.
I think that's I think it's interesting. I do think Nick wins for the back shot just because Andrew's back shot isn't the strongest, especially in comparison to someone like Nick. That's where Nick will sort of get the advantage.
Hey Jack, would you mind getting up Nick's back lat spread?
His back lat spread is where he's weaker for sure.
Yeah, the lats aren't very wide, are they?
Can we also say a massive shout out to James Hollingshead? Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get to it.
Wow.
I was trying to get to it. So we'll go to the back. Oh God, he only does back biceps. Yeah, but that's.
I don't know. I don't see that as like Olympia level, like Mr. Olympia level. Personally,
but he's not in there. He's not in shape.
True.
Yeah, well. See, his lat spread's a little bit weaker with front and back, I would say. But his real strengths are even his front double. Like if we were to compare this, the detail that he has over the others, even though he doesn't have the silhouette.
The size.
And his abs make a massive complement to that physique as well, because he can lock them in really nicely, even though he's got a distended gut in that sometimes. When he locks that in, they look just pop, don't they?
That's it.
Compare it to the other two. I'm not no disrespect to them, but compare those ab shots.
Yeah, I saw this backstage reel the other day of some basically, how people like commentate. They say, I'm not a bodybuilder myself, but I'm just picking up on X. And it was basically they had a video going along like James, Nick, all of the different competitors, and he was videoing and he said, "What is going on with the men's opens guts?"
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Because when they're backstage and breathing out and not posing, he was basically saying that bodybuilding's a load of shit because it's not good for you. But yeah,
I don't know about that. What do you think of this lineup? Obviously, Joe was talking massively against, saying he could beat Nick.
But he had some
and
good
he
shots there,
kept coming
especially
into it.
that side chest shot was fucking.
For
No,
sure, at the
I've seen a
side,
better one than that. I've seen a better one than that. But that's a different angle to what I've seen.
yeah,
But he had
yeah.
some decent side shots.
I think
His
the
chest is
main thing
massive.
is Nick has they both have similar level of muscularity, but the conditioning is just on another level.
100%.
And this is where like Nick will make Joe look a little bit off, right?
Oh, his waist is
Um,
block here as well, isn't it?
Remember what I said
yeah,
about
which is
fading on the
crazy.
fade as well. So
Yeah,
fading.
and there's going to be fading for sure. And I think how he's hitting the shots, even like I think Joe needed to just not play the size game and sort of come in tighter. But
Yeah, but he tried differently in Atlanta, mate. If you watch how he tried
yeah,
to change his shots over, have you noticed that?
I did see that. I saw that
Didn't
coming
go to his
into
favour,
it,
in my
and
opinion.
I looked at it and I nearly made a post on it because I saw he's just because I hit my front double in a similar way. He's having his legs
Yeah,
too open,
yeah.
and
He's showing too many
that's
weaknesses doing that.
yeah, that's what's going
It's
to sort
it's not
of
going in his favour. And even though I
no,
know what he was trying to do, but it didn't work.
no, because he needs his legs a little bit closer,
Yeah,
and if you're going to hit that shot, you need to hit it.
yeah.
With any shot, you need to hit it accurately, and
Too many twists in the body.
yeah, and there's like he just made his legs look his quads aren't the strongest, so it just made his quads just look that little bit weaker. So it's just knowing how to sort of hit that.
But then, like what Sarah was saying about different shapes and sizes, I mean, if you look at Patrick here, right?
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
see that how he's opening up there,
yeah,
just a
just too many
little bit
twists.
too wide. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he just
Jack, that is how you hit it as well, isn't it? That's how you do your legs.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I hit that shot, and I used to do the same thing where my legs were just wider. It just made my legs look a lot smaller. And you want to have your leg actually slightly in front of it, so your adductors are pressing together, and you can make your legs look quite big, but your waist looks smaller. And I think that's what he was going for. But if you're going to try a pose out, you need to make sure you nail it, and you don't
that
want to just go.
one's
That's
yeah.
not.
It's
Also,
it's such a shame Regan can't get fully diced because
Yeah,
it's like for fuck's sake, because he takes the win. If he's fully diced, he takes the
That's
win.
the one thing
Yeah.
that he's lacking massively, mate. He's
for
always the
sure.
same.
Because if you, so just to finish up with Joe, I think what because he was entering that this season saying, right, I'm not going to be as meticulous as Nick,
oh, okay.
because he was having Pop Tarts and stuff for the
Oh,
off season, and he was
that's
sort
good.
of pushing up quite heavier, and I think that has backfired in regards to getting into that level of conditioning. And I think that goes to show for something. Maybe the same is to be said about Regan. Now with Regan, he has the best physique on stage,
It's big.
but he just again he's off in
He's
regards
got
to
the best
conditioning.
structure. Best structure. I don't know about
Best
physique, but
structure.
best structure, 100%.
Well, yeah, I mean, even just the muscle ballets and everything, but like the conditioning is what is going to hold it back
Has
massively.
done. Always has done, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like maybe he just needs to get big enough so he can diet hard and not worry too much about staying full. I'm not sure if he's planning on because he's getting closer to the Olympia, just planning on just getting
Do you,
leaner
do you
up
think
until the
also because
Olympia.
obviously he's grown a little bit, and maybe because he keeps trying to do that, he can't quite dial it in perfectly because every time he's off season, he grows, and then his body or he doesn't quite respond to.
You
It's
get
just
big.
getting. You know
Everything
what I
gets
mean?
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything gets bigger than
Yeah,
like
I
the
think.
midsection can get actually big, like to then
Because
die down.
when you've gotten bigger, you've got to work a little bit harder to get it off as well.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. It's like
Happy.
similar to Joe, like it doesn't really result in if you're overeating, it doesn't really result in too much more muscle tissue because your performance is not going to be as it could be affected in the off season and it could just throw you off. But also you've got more to pull off. So
Yeah.
you could go, wow, I'm this much heavier in the off season, but it's like you've got to diet harder and you risk either not getting into condition or dieting off that newer tissue. So,
Yeah.
and you see the bodybuilders who have stayed leaner in the off season, such as Nick, such as James, they've fucking brought their A game. And, I think with James, it's interesting because he's done what, 4 shows now, and he's been pretty bang on in all of them. And potentially that's because he's maybe not had to. He's just taking his time with diet. He's not had to pull off a shit ton of body fat, and maybe that's what potentially people like Joe and Regan might need to have a similar approach because they've got a muscularity there. They're the two biggest guys on the stage, you know.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember Hollingshead last year or his last run of shows before these ones. I don't know if you remember. He was talking about how he was taking a really relaxed approach to it. Do you remember?
Yeah, because I did a podcast with him, and
Okay.
he said last year, obviously there was a bunch of stresses last year, and when I was speaking to him on the podcast, it was just earlier this year, and he was like, there was no particular show of mine. He's just started to come down, and he's just with Zach, and the body's going to tell him when he's ready to compete, and it was a more relaxed approach in regards to that. Where it's like, right, we're not going to get ready in X amount of weeks. It's like, cool, we're just going to listen to the body, let it play ball. And then when we're ready to
Are you
rumble,
saying that was Sax calling, was it?
I think so. And I think obviously they worked very well in
It's worked,
synergy.
yeah.
That
Both of
was
that works really, really well.
But hold
them.
on, hold on. I've got, this might be before you had him on your podcast. I remember him going for shows and he was genuinely having like cheat meals all the time for his last run of shows. And
Well,
what I'm trying to say is that was one of the reasons why everyone was telling him he was getting worse. Whereas this year he probably didn't do that. I don't know.
yeah. I think for sure. I feel like there was just more diligence, but more probably just being more relaxed in regards to not forcing the body to go to a certain direction, but also keeping it in a place where it can be lean and competitive. And I think this is something we're seeing in real time with these guys, how the approach of the off season can affect the actual final outcome. And I think that's quite interesting, not only in regards to the conditioning that you can get to, because James looks like he's having a good time, and it doesn't look like he's fucking absolutely dying. I know that he might be just very skilled at not showcasing that, but just the fact that he's able to hold that conditioning from show to show just shows that his body's not under a great deal of stress, in my opinion, to actually be at that conditioning, as opposed to kind of force it in that place. But I think massive well done for James, man. I think
well done, James.
it was very, very well deserved, and I'm glad he got one, man. Because if he, can you imagine looking like that from show to show, just getting seconds? I think if anyone deserved it in Olympia, going to the Olympia, it's definitely James for this year.
I don't think people were expecting him to improve as much as he did over the last 3 shows, but he certainly has, and kudos to him and Zach. Well done.
I need to share this with you. So I actually met Zach and James in like a comic store in Tampa, and I asked, should I buy this T-shirt? I don't know if you can see it. And they were like, absolutely. And
what is the T-shirt? Put it up again.
So it's like a anime type vibe.
Which anime is it?
I don't actually know. I was like,
is that one? That's one. What's it called? What's the anime called? One. Anyone help me out here? It was on Netflix.
One
Piece. One Piece. Is that it? One Piece.
One Piece, maybe.
Anime's over my head, unfortunately.
So, and also Zach brought, and I don't know definitely how much it was, but I think it was about $500, a huge Hulk figurine. And he was like, what's that Hulk figurine to the guy? And the guy was like, got it out, and he was like, I'm going to buy it. And bless him, the guy was just going through a breakup with someone, and Zach ended up giving him some advice, and James, and the guy started crying at the counter. And James
Right.
was like, look, you know, if you're not married and you haven't got kids, just remember who you are, build yourself back up. Bearing in mind, he just competed at the Tampa and he was getting ready for Atlanta. And James was just so chill, so like, and this guy was like, oh, I'm tearing up, and he started crying. And James was like, it's okay, mate. Like, just keep being you and work on yourself. And I was just like, this is so good.
It's nice, and I think like what you're saying there is how relaxed James is, and sort of mirrors what you just said, Jack. It's really showing. It's really showing in his physique, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Sure.
he was chill. He was chill.
Yeah. I think obviously we've got to work out what are you doing, Ryan. Jesus Christ.
I'm filing a little bit of a nail. That looked really dodgy.
Yeah. I was like, bro, you enjoying this
He's in
discussion?
anime and he's like, James, anime.
Fuck yeah. It's like James is so relaxed.
Oh, relax more, relax more.
I took on that. Like when I got to meet him, I thought the next time I prep and the next time I'm around shows, be more like James. Be more like James. Because what he also was saying was like, you know, he was just enjoying, like they went and then had a little Starbucks, and them two have obviously done some posts on Instagram and stuff, where Zach and him are like two old men traveling the world sort of thing. And it's like, you know, what we can actually gain from competitive bodybuilding if you go international as well. And obviously my example of going to watch people in Tampa. And this is what I found in pockets of the world, like we're all coming together at a show abroad. So we get the opportunity as bodybuilders to compete or spectate and travel with it. So when we talk about the neuroticism, which is, you know, the opposite of what we're seeing James exhibit, I wouldn't go on holiday, right? I'm happy to admit that. And I think, Jack, you've said this before, where you think that you have to be this like, you know, uptight and everything has to be exact and da da da. But what we're seeing here is that actually experienced competitors probably are learning along the way that you don't need to do that. It's actually a bad use of energy towards
Well,
what you need to
yeah,
do.
I think if you've done it enough times, you get skilled at the process, which means you can relax and you don't need to be so conscientious of ticking the boxes. And I think that should be where you go, right, okay, let's chill. But again, it's the approach of not creating a bunch of work for yourself as well. Because a lot of people, we could say, but people still won't understand and get that stress literally makes or breaks your progress and your mental state. And if you're having a good time, rather than being like so intense, obviously there's going to be a level of intensity when you're prepping. That's going to be more so when you're newer to competing and prepping because it's so novel and you're like, shit, you know, I'm not used to this one. Go da 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 da. But once you've nailed it, where you can just create less resistance, whether that's the approach, your lifestyle, the work that you do, whatever it is, you have fun, you create opportunities to just chill, have a laugh with your boys, or whatever it is, then you're going to respond so much fucking better.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what? I had this similar conversation this morning with a client, right? So I've got a client, he's not a competitor. He's just a guy who's doing it for a lifestyle, trying to get better, blah, blah, blah. And he went on holiday 1 week before me. And on his story, he was on holiday in Spain or whatever the fuck it was. And he took a photo of his Tupperware. And then he took a photo in the morning, a video saying, getting my steps in. And I just thought to myself, look, if you're sort of like taking it very, very seriously and you're not even competing, like I think you're losing sight of what this is all about.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm like, I know I'm like not an IFBB pro, but I'm like as good as a professional bodybuilder, right? You know, I live the life, I do blah blah blah. You know, I said, and even I can switch off. So if I can switch off, why can't you switch off? You know,
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Yeah, and he was struggling, and he agreed with me, but he was like, I just struggle to let go. And I think the message that I want to get across to people is kind of what you're just saying, Jack, is to, you know, find that sweet spot between, you know, work when you need to, but also turn off when you need to as well, you know?
Yeah, this is a balanced sport. It's like I say, I think it's harder for people newer into it because it's so, you know, they just have to be more conscious of like just even weighing your food, right? And stuff like that. People like need to now it's autonomous, right? A lot of what we do is just so autonomous, and
It's true.
you,
It's true.
we were like maybe we should try to make it harder. And
Yeah.
I understand. Like for me, what I'm doing now, there's definitely more, I suppose, more boxes to tick, but there is a level of simplicity because now I've got someone just give you the boxes. I'm not creating them, and I'm like, cool. I could just follow this as long as I'm taking the boxes. I don't need to think about it. And it's taken a couple of weeks just to get into the habit of that, where I've had to be more, conscious of cueing myself to the point where I'm like, right, okay, don't forget to do that's new into the routine. But now it's second nature. I'm like, boom. And I think the more structured you are, the more autonomous it will become.
Yeah, with me, someone like me, where you're saying that, I'm, and I've said this before, I'm 100% on nothing, right? And when I'm on it, like you just said, everything is autonomous. But also when I'm not on it, everything is totally non-autonomous, if that makes sense. So
I'm
it's always one
definitely
or the other.
yeah, I can relate to that, man. I can relate to that. That's where I'm like, I've used this example before, but like if I decide to eat off, I could just go, okay, fuck it, and then eat, and then eat, and then fucking eat stupid amounts, and then still not be full, and then be like, huh, okay,
But
cool.
even when it just comes to training and doing steps and all that shit, I mean, it goes out the window for
Yeah,
me
yeah. I mean,
if I
this is
am not
why.
goal driven.
Yeah, I noticed that if I am pulled off, like say if I'm going to, I can't remember the last time I did actually, but if I went away, I would just probably be more inclined to just come off and not be too focused
Yeah.
on trying to tick everything because I'm like, well, okay, as long as
So
I don't overeat and I'm moving a bit.
it's like an example for you for like last week, I had set to myself that I wanted to like, because I went to, obviously before I went to Ibiza, I started a bit of coaching with Kieran again, just to kind of be accountable because I'd been off track for such a long time. And honestly, I got in shape so quickly, so fast. It was dead easy. Got back into the routine of dieting, cardio, everything was fucking piece of piss, right? Came back from Ibiza, everything went straight down. And last week I said to myself, oh, I'm going to get back on it now. Like 100% this week's going to be fully committed. And then I trained twice last week, did no cardio, even though I was in the gym like really late at night and I could have probably gone and done some, post training bucking steps or cardio. I just didn't. And I kind of slipped the other day when I was like, when I came back, I went to this event this weekend with my daughter. So everything went out the window, no, nothing. Lots of steps and walking around, but eating was whatever I wanted and training was nothing. I was relaxing. And I was kind of hard on myself and I looked in the mirror and I thought like, fuck, you could have prevented this in a way last week when if you just stuck to your guns, whatever. But then I went, you know what? I've really got no reason to be hard on myself now. I know for a fact, like if I really, really, really set my mind to it and all the stars aligned, and if I put myself in the position where I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to do that, then I can just get back into the routine of things and get in shape. Like I said, pre-Ibiza, did it all, ticked all the boxes, everything was autonomous. And then it's just as easy when the goal is met or when something is achieved, I can just go, right.
But
And
do you know what?
it's taken me years to get to here.
Do you
Years.
know? Do you know what? Though? I would go as far to say is that me personally, I need what you just described, Mark. I need to do that because that there makes me want to get back on it.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, like what I just did. Obviously, I gained 10 kilos, which is stupid, and I wouldn't recommend it. But I did. But I fucking did. That's the reality, right? But I come back and it's made now. Now I've got this like ignited flame, fucking, and I'm like, right, let's go.
Yeah.
Whereas if I never do that, my flame starts to dwindle.
But something will make you put you out without you even trying. Something will make you put yourself out if you don't put yourself out voluntarily, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, exactly that, mate. Exactly
And
that.
I'd rather be in control of what I do and when I do shit in my life than something else taking over my life and making decisions over me. So that's how I
You
look at
nailed
it
it, man.
now.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
I think also the considerate, because funnily enough, me and Jack were talking about this over voice note. there is a consideration to where you are on the spectrum, because I reckon I'm a bit tism, because I I messaged Jack about this. And I don't know if this is purely just because it's so autonomous or what, but I went to Tampa and I took growth out, so I would have lost weight because of that anyway. But I actually lost a bit more than that, and I was like, "How the fuck have I been to America and lost weight?" But I was at shows and stuff. You know what it's like when you're coaching at shows and that, like you don't eat all day or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's like, "Oh, I'll just grab something." But I found myself on a day where I'd immersed fully in the day. So we'd been for a meal with everyone. I'd done some bits, been to the gym in the morning, and I hadn't thought about my steps. So my target's like 10 to 12, and I just float it around that for the off season. So I looked at my and I was like, I've done 2K steps. Like that's not like me because I'm thinking all day, I'm like, have I done my steps? And it's just something that I try and do. And so I said to Jack, I found myself at the gym at 9 p.m. in Tampa on a treadmill in a dress with no shoes on because I had flip-flops on. And I'm
Brilliant.
and I'm walking. I burnt my feet on the treadmill, which was really fucking terrible business, blisters, etc. But I found myself doing it, and then I was like, I got the code and stuff, and got let in, and I had this moment of like, I found myself here, and I hadn't even thought about that I wouldn't do the steps. But in Tampa, there's certain places you can't walk because it's not safe and stuff. And I found myself doing it. So I don't know if that is literally because it's so autonomous or whether I am a bit tism or what it is, but I just found myself doing it, but it didn't cause me stress to do it, if that makes sense.
Well,
So
yeah.
I don't know if this is a spectrum thing or what.
Well, I suppose it's like brush your teeth, right? It's
Yeah,
that because I think we all had a part where we were obsessed with this to the point where we couldn't help but think not to do it. And then we get the habits of doing it so ingrained that that's where the autonomy comes. So even when, if we're off,
Mm.
we're not off really, especially not for long, because we find our way.
It's a conscious off, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's like, right, let's switch off, you know.
Because I
I,
can.
and again, we always find our way back to
Yeah.
going, right, okay, we're gonna go back to the structure, back to the formula, because that is it's, at this point
Yeah. Like,
a lifestyle.
it's never been off. I've never been
No.
like completely off. As you say, it's a conscious off.
yeah,
It's a conscious off, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
so true. And how many people have you come across over the years, and they'll be like, "Ah, just struggling to get back into it." That's the line that they say, and I'm like, I've never really had that.
yeah.
Like,
Same.
no, it's so ingrained in me just to do it. It doesn't even feel like it's something that I have to get on or off.
Yeah,
It's
stop
just,
putting that pressure on yourself. Just
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
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 This is just how I live my life, and that's it. It's
And I think this is right. So I don't think everyone could get to that place because not everyone has that level of obsession with
Okay,
bodybuilding.
maybe. Yeah.
And potentially they get to a phase, maybe. Not like it because we're all competitors, right? So, we're all gonna have that in common. And I think it's this is where we can all get to a point where we're just pretty much all some people essentially what I'm trying to say is some people could just drop off and not ever get that autonomy with what they're doing.
Do you think it's because they don't love bodybuilding? Then is that what you're saying? Do you reckon it's
I
because they don't
think
actually love what they do?
the actual lifestyle, and I think that's going to be a difference between someone who is like, well, like the idea of bodybuilding rather than actually like living the lifestyle of bodybuilding. And I think when it becomes that's some people are made
Yeah, I
have a
think that's what we
psychological
spoke about
makeup
when
of
Josh was on, wasn't it?
being made for the process. And I
Yeah.
think when people talk about, oh, optimal, having fun, some people have fun being optimal.
Yeah, the two aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, it is fun to me to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah, me
That
too.
is that is
My
fun.
life is better and more organized when I'm
Correct.
on it.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie. Not gonna
Because
lie.
I said to Jack as well, I was like, I I was saying it out loud. Some of the voice notes Jack gets, I'm like, I don't know what I've just said, but I'm sure he'll understand. But because I go on these fucking deep dives, so does he, and it's like our thing. But I said to him, I'm happy with this. Like I'm happy living like this. This is fun for me. I get off on it. This is my vibe. And then I was like, a shrink might tell me otherwise. Like if someone sat down with me and they were a therapist or whatever, and they're looking at my control and how I am and the things that I do, they might tell me differently. But I'm really happy with this. Like
Yeah.
I'm genuinely happy with who I am. But it's like if I was penalized in a therapy session, who knows
Well,
what would come out?
do you know what though? Like, but people don't seem to have this same opinion about other stuff. So over the years, I'm sure you guys have had this. So I've had people say to me, "I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it." And I think to myself, "Well, hold on. Like, tell me the thing that you love. Let's just say that person loves football.
Mm.
If somebody was playing football for 10 years, you wouldn't say to them, 'I don't know how you do it.' You'd just say, 'Oh, he likes football.'" Yeah. But for some reason with bodybuilding, it's like, "Oh, how'd you do that?"
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's what I
yeah.
love.
I
It's
don't
just
think
what
I
I
could
love.
do
Because
that, you know.
it could be an abstract, but it's
It's
also
stressful, isn't it?
the same for people who are workaholics and then just constantly doing stuff with business. They're always working. Da, 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 da. It's like you can look at that and go, I don't know how they're doing it. It's like they don't know how to not. And that
Exactly.
again gets tied back to obsession, right?
Yeah.
And people say obsession is bad, it's unhealthy, but you should actually, if you feel it and it's towards something productive and not self-destructive, you should lean into it and
Absolutely.
let it consume
Fucking
you because
do it. Do it. Do
not
it. Do it.
not everyone has the gift of obsession. So if
Yeah.
you feel that, do it. Let be obsessed. I will admit, and be honest, I am obsessed with this. I can't not do it. I'm not
Yeah.
motivated. I'm not disciplined. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed.
I like that.
That's so true.
I like
Imagine,
that.
imagine if for whatever reason, all four of us we had to stop doing this right now.
Yeah.
It'd be a
I
fucking
remember the
nightmare.
lockdown. The
Like,
lockdown, bro.
fuck.
When that happened, I was almost getting fucking arrested because for going to gyms that like I'd sneaking in. I was paying a lot of money. I was traveling across the country
Yeah,
trying to
same.
train.
So,
And they were, I remember being put in cuffs, and the police officers like, "You're selfish," and I was like, "What?" You know, and I just went in, man. I spat some balls. I was like, "Bro." I started
yeah,
talking statistics, but I was like, bro, you don't understand, right? There are people coming here because they need to, right?
Yeah.
And we're selfish for just going to the motherfucking gym, right?
hey,
And
do you
it's
know
like,
what? Do you know? I remember in lockdown, the gym that I was at, Spartan's gym in Southampton. What the owner messaged us all and said, "Everyone, buy a high vis vest, okay, and pretend that you're working." So we all bought a high vis, and we all walked in there. Yeah, and we carried on training like normal, you know. So it was
I
fucking.
had police knocking at my door nearly twice a week because I was still working from my gym doing online classes, right? So I was running classes. And I know who it was. I know who's reporting me. It's not, but not very difficult to find out or area on here. But I had police knocking on the door, and I was going to the door, and they were like, "We can hear you working out. We need to come in." I'm like, "Mate, I'm fucking screaming at a screen. Fucking do one." He kept coming, like one, especially one police officer. I think he came like 3 times in a space of like 4 months. The last time when like the restrictions were coming down and everyone was kind of easing into it, came to my door again, and I was like, right, I'm gonna fucking tell you now, stop harassing me. And he turned around and goes, my son's looking for a membership.
Yeah, there
You
you
know
go.
what, as well, you saying that if it gets taken away from you, what I find is we get very good at adapting. So because it's so autonomous, because we are
yeah,
is that it's like when you get an injury, right? Like you get very clever at the ways that you can still do
Yeah,
the things we need to do. So you control what you can. Like my knee
absolutely.
surgery, it was like, okay,
Yeah,
so I can't walk. I have to learn to walk again. So I'd have my crutches. I made a little bag and have my little supplements in it, and I'd have, these things hanging off the crutches, and I'd be like, right, today I'm going to get from here to here. I'm going to eat all my meals. I'm going to do all my supplements. I'm going to do the things I can control. Then I learn to walk again, and then it brings the gratefulness. But you get clever, and also I'd be like, right, I'm going to get there today, and I'd be
yeah.
picking myself up.
yeah,
I'm literally walking across one fucking room, but walk. But then you get your kicks from that because otherwise you go fucking delulu, right? Like I wouldn't want to just sit there like a fucking and
mm,
consequently, as bodybuilders, when we talk about weight training and all the things we do from the health perspective, my recovery, and I was using growth and peptides, but my recovery was 50% quicker than what they've ever seen in the Thailand hospital I was using. And they complimented me for that and said, well, we think it's because you've got muscle mass, because you're a bodybuilder, because you take the rehab seriously. So when it is taken from you, if this is you, and this is what I was trying to say, you don't go, okay, I'll be a fat piece of shit now. You go, what can I do here?
Yeah.
Let's fucking do the thing. Let's do the thing. So
Yeah.
you find ways, and I think that's a good point of reference to know if it is for you, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
you
mean,
go, oh, I
I
don't have
like
to.
that, Sarah. Yeah, I love that.
that's essentially like, how much do you want it, right? How much you want it. If you really wanted it, you would fucking do it. You would find a way to do the thing instead of finding an excuse not to do the thing. Like, you know, I remember living in the YM with crackheads, right? They found a way to get high every day, and I saw how they would do that. It's
Yeah.
like quite fucking creative. And how they would change the standards to be able to get high, and they
Yes.
always found a way. They had no money, but they got high every single day. And I'm like,
Yeah.
because they really
Well,
wanted it. They wanted it like they fucking needed it. And
There's
if
lessons
people,
to be learned from crackheads.
there
Yeah,
is, man.
very
Don't let
true.
a crackhead outwork you, right? Because
Heard it here first.
that's it. And it's like, if you really wanted something, like you're fucking addicted to it, like you
And find
need
a way
it,
to
like
do
you
it.
need to
Yeah.
fucking breathe and drink
Hey,
it.
imagine if crackheads
Find a
started
way.
doing online coaching.
This is how to get the best.
Yeah,
Hey,
We'd
this
be
is
out
how
of
you do it.
business.
And they're doing like check-ins, like, hey guys, like you obviously don't want it enough. You don't want it enough.
You don't want it enough.
They're also
Yeah.
very good. I find I've said this before on my podcast, is that what you see by living on the streets or like you're in the YM, you know, when you are around people, I've been in crack dens and things like that. Their sense of community when they're looking to get high and get high together, they're tight. If they haven't got the drugs, they're not tight. But
Oh man.
they share the little drugs they've got because they want to get high with you. And they're this like wild community. And I think well, maybe the bodybuilding community could learn from that. We could share a rice cake or two on the stretch.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there we go then.
It's there we go. We should all be like crackheads.
That is
So
the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail.
we should all be like crackheads. So questions.
Yes.
What is the perfect day of bodybuilding?
I like my day every day with bodybuilding. I just like training,
Yeah,
having
but
a middle,
what does the perfect day consist of?
wake up. So I have my
Waking up.
specific routine for my
Wake up.
I don't know if Ryan and Mark know, but when I was 17, I had a car crash. So I have degenerative discs in my back. So I have a chronic back condition that will not get better. So I have to manage it. So because of that, I have to do mobility for 20 to 30 minutes in the morning.
Yeah.
Stretching, I have to do it. Like it's a non-negotiable. So I have to get up earlier than maybe other people would. So do that. Come down. The kettle goes on. I also have now increased my my focus on recovery, as it were, and I have a hot bath in the morning as well as before bed. So I have my hot bath, drink my coffee, obviously way before the coffee. Then I prepare meal one. Then I get ready to go to the gym. Then do the gym, do the steps in between that, do my tasks as a coach, podcast host, etc. Bedtime routine, hot bath again, meal, supplements, meal prep in between that. That is pretty much, if you wanted to kill me, you know where I am. It's me.
Very, very predictable. I'll tell you what, instead of us all going through it, I'm pretty sure our days are all going to look similar-ish, other than the things you've just mentioned, Sarah. Obviously, you know, like mobility and, okay. And I think you do it as well, Mark. But I should imagine most bodybuilders' days the same, right?
Yeah, I would kind of have to put a spin on it when you have kids as well. And maybe, you know, I think that's a little bit different than what I found anyway. That's the only one. Mine is very similar to Sarah's. I'm not going to lie, like to a T. You know, I have the get meal one ready, do the whole, but I do the stretches, the cold shower thing and blah, blah, blah and all that. But then I have to have a certain time in the day where I'm either taking my son to school or picking him up from school and spending time. So that's pretty much the main difference.
I'll tell you what though, mate, to be optimal, you probably just want to get rid of your kids. I know it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds like an excuse.
Has been on my mind, to be honest. But...
Yeah, no, do you know what? I no, jokes aside, I commend people with that because, like, I only have myself to think about.
Yeah.
Way fucking easier. Way fucking easier. You've got
I don't
people
know.
that
I struggle with that.
are. Me too, man. Me too.
Oh.
But like when you've got children, they have to take precedent above everything, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's but essentially the perfect bodybuilding day is a day that you can repeat. It's a day that aligns with your goals that you can repeat. It's a perfect Groundhog Day, and you enjoy.
Where people say
That's
ticking
it.
boxes daily, that's probably
That's it. And
you know,
it looks
that's
the same every day. It's like you just got to eat the right amount, sleep the right amount, train
Do
the
your
right
pins.
amount, and drink the right amount. That's it.
Make sure you do your pin routine.
And you know what? To the average person, that's boring, but to people like us, it's fucking
no.
marvelous. It's marvelous.
But like,
Isn't it great?
boring.
Isn't it great when it all fits in? Oh,
Do you not find
it's delicious.
when you allow yourself to be boring, sometimes your life has more meaning?
Oh, it's
Oh,
just
yeah. When there's not this routine, it feels chaotic.
yeah.
It feels all over the place. I
Well,
hate it.
yeah, because if you're constantly trying to chase pleasure, I mean, that's how you become a drug addict.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're like, right, okay, let's look at my phone, let's watch TV, let's fucking just do something where it's like I'm just trying to entertain myself, you don't really get much done. But when you're doing monotonous shit to something that is of a greater purpose, that's where you have more meaning in life.
Hey Jack, I think you just like triggered something in my brain. I think one of the best ways to describe a bodybuilder is being very comfortable in deferred gratification. Nothing that you're doing right now is for right now. It's for, as you just said, a bigger reason.
Yeah.
So, like, sitting on the sofa instead of going to the gym might feel good in that moment. Eating a load of shit might feel good in that moment, but none of it is beneficial long term. So, to sum up being a bodybuilder, it's just everything is deferred gratification. You're depositing in your physique bank every single day.
Boom.
Little deposit in the physique bank every day, and then after about a year, you can look at your balance and hopefully it's decent. Hopefully.
That's it. That's it. That's what it is. Daily deposit in the physique.
The physique bank.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That
Love that
teaches
shit.
you to literally really look after your future self, just yourself in the future, rather than you know, you're constantly doing stuff for the future.
Yes.
And like, the crossover of that in life is great. Rather than just pissing your future self off, it's like, fuck, that's not done. Or my life's harder because I didn't do this thing and whatever. I'm now like obese and I'm just, you know, I've decided to just whatever.
And do you know what? Sometimes you need to learn the hard way as well, because I'm sure we've all like fucked up enough.
Do you know
We've
what?
fucked up enough where you're like, that does not feel good. That does not feel good.
And it could be small things, right? I remember right to I went to the shop, you know, to do my weekly shopping. I wrote a shopping list, and I put like things like broccoli, rice, chicken, and then I put etc. And I remember looking at that, I was like, "You're a prick. You are a prick for writing that. What does that mean? You lazy piece of shit."
You should have got an answer. Excuse me,
Yeah.
where's your etc.? Where is it?
Yeah. I was like, what? I wrote that. What a lazy piece of shit. And I'm like, fuck you, pass me. You know?
Yeah, 'cause I find, right, you know, when you do something, so as an example, I cook mince for 3 days and then portion it, and then I do it again. And when it's mince day, I'm like, oh god, it's mince day, because I'm a bit like, I have to have it all cooked. I don't want any red bits, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm a bit with mince. Chicken, not so bad. But when I've done it, each day after that for 3 days, I'm like, my future self is so happy because I get to go.
Yeah.
Get it out, eat it up. So it's little things like that, I think, because we are a bit cuckoo, right? Like,
Yeah.
at least we're pouring it into something that is pretty beneficial.
But
Absolutely.
that isn't crazy, is it? Is it not crazier to just constantly fuck yourself over?
100%. Yeah, we live in a society where that's the norm, though.
Yeah,
It's the norm to do stuff and then be like, you know. But actually, it makes so much more sense to do what you just said. It makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't write etc. anymore, man. Fuck. That pissed me off as well.
Yeah. I was
Why is
like,
this another
God.
bloody holiday? And now he's fucking stress levels are through the roof.
So, next question is: do you think bodybuilding is going soft from blood and guts and branch to what it is today?
Yes.
Yeah, to a certain degree, depending on what people you're asking. So if you were to do examples of the people that we were, not comparing as such, but the people that we were looking at earlier is IFBB pros getting Olympia invites,
Yeah,
probably the answer would be, well, they are pretty blood and guts. There are
that's
people
it.
like us, but
Because
there
some
is
people,
still an influx of fucking snowflakes.
100%. Yeah. So the cream always rises to the top.
Right.
And, people be like, oh, no one did it like Dorian Yates. It's like, bro, I don't know, man. There are plenty of people who are amateurs who are just on it because they love it and they would tick the boxes, just like we say. And, the people who are going for, they have to be, they're not just getting there because of genetics and drugs. They have to be gifted as well as fucking on it. It's like Nick Walker, right? He's known for being an absolute robot, and it's not because he's just got a genetic freak, but it's because he is diligent and he's on it, right?
Yeah.
But it's getting soft of the fact that they're all going to be so. I've said this before. What bodybuilding requires, what it demands, is no different. That's not changing, right? And if you wanted to excel at it, you will have to be at that standard, which is doing the best that you can and applying yourself, be diligent. But more and more people are going in. It's like, how can I make this easier? Cool, let's get some reta on the go. Let's have these diet hacks.
Let's put some more fucking sugar-free syrup in my food, or fucking let's
Yeah.
use some more,
I spoke about this the other day.
bands and all that shit.
And there's more conveniency, right?
They
But
taste like shit.
yeah, so it's been more populated with
They're
with
fucking disgusting.
with all souls basically, but now there's never been an easier time to outwork those motherfuckers, and there
There you
are
go.
people like that, right?
Just be different. Just be different.
If you're thinking, okay, how can I make this easier? That will do, right? If you have that mindset, that will do. Think about who you're competing against. If you're trying to be a competitor, you think first place is doing that shit. Nah, they're probably top three is doing everything that they fucking can. And, people will do everything that they can and still fucking lose. So if you think that will do, who the fuck do you think you are to think you're going to be winning shows, taking overalls, and getting a pro card?
Listen, Jack, you're absolutely right. It's fucking complete arrogance to think you can sort of like half-arse it and then still hang with them. But what I will say, back to the question itself, what people tend to do is they cherry pick, right? So in the 90s, people like cherry pick Dorian, and in the 2000s, Branch Warren, they cherry picked them. But there were still loads of guys who weren't doing that.
Yeah.
And sorry to say it, but if you look at the condition on the glutes in the 90s, most guys didn't have it.
This is what pisses me off, right?
Man.
Because Kevin Levrone had like 6 months off, right?
Yeah,
there was these guys that would do shit.
Flex Wheeler should have been a multiple Olympia winner, but he had soft glutes all the time.
What about Lee Priest's off seasons?
Yeah, exactly, man. And people are like,
legendary.
It's not the same today. I made a video the other day of this guy looking at Nick Walker. And he was like, "There's no detail, there's no abs, his glutes aren't there." And I'm like, "Bro, are you even fucking looking at what you're talking about?"
Yeah, what the fuck?
Because you're just saying, "Oh, the '90s, whatever's better," and you can't even see what's in front of you, bro. And it's like people are forgetting. People seem to think everyone in the 90s was peeled and worthy of an Olympia nowadays. Like he literally made the statement of this guy wouldn't even win in a top 10 at a low level show.
Yeah, I mean, Dorian was Dorian was quite unique back then. It's not like everyone was like Dorian. And also, you got to remember that the 4K cameras now.
I was just going to say that exactly what I was going to say.
Man, you said, go on.
The quality of the cameras make a huge difference of what we had back then compared to what we have now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that displays what we see. It was totally different having VHS type quality to fucking what we have now is superior 4K UHD fucking quality where you can zoom in on it and everything. So it's.
I tell you what, man, it
wacky
exposes you.
backdrops.
4K cameras, you like if you're slightly off, fuck me.
Or it's like when you
Yeah.
watch The Simpsons. You know, when you go back to watch The Simpsons, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's like bodybuilding in the 90s.
Yeah, well, there you go then. That's exactly what it's like, isn't it, really?
it's nostalgia bias. But it's fucked, right? Because I remember seeing backstage they had these like low quality cameras or whatever. And I remember looking, I was like, God, everyone on stage looks great in this like vintage style like camera. I was like, God, this is great. But also the backdrops, like we were saying earlier, these things make a difference. But
Absolutely.
people don't want to acknowledge it. They just want to go, this is this, and they don't even. They're like, oh, everyone worked harder, and it was all this, and it's like.
No, do you know what? There's another thing that's like playing a role in the average fan, like the casual fan, someone who's not really a high level bodybuilder or whatever. It's the stomachs. Basically, what is being rewarded now is fullness, and what creates fullness other than drugs is food, right? So you've got a lot of guys with distended midsections, and I think a lot of people are put off modern bodybuilding by that. So they assume that because someone's got a distended midsection, they didn't try.
Yeah.
But actually, they're just pushing fullness. And in the 90s, that wasn't rewarded.
Because
those were the like GH and insulin. It's like
they're actually pushing more food in the off season, bro.
Correct. But even filling up.
Yeah.
Even carb loads, In the 90s, everyone had better midsection. Not everyone, but the majority had better midsections because that was the standard.
Yeah.
Whereas now, fullness is being rewarded. So
I feel like that's because I've spoken to a fair few bodybuilders that were competing from 80s, 90s onwards, is that's one of their things that they feel that bodybuilding isn't as aesthetic as it used to be because we're not seeing the V taper, we're seeing the distended midsection, and that's getting awarded. I think that's probably a gripe that's carried into this conversation we're having. It's not as aesthetic, it's not as artistic.
Who are the Olympians got a distended stomach?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one, has there? There hasn't been one.
If you compare
Phil Heath.
Yeah.
Phil Heath,
Well,
that's like 10 years ago now.
When even some shots with Kai Green was doing a rear double and obviously relaxing his stomach to push out and tighten his back.
When they breathe and relax.
Yeah, just to push the tightness in the back though, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is like 10 years ago. Like now, we're going to say that about...
It's either controlled better or, I don't know.
For sure. Even Nick, who's got a wide waist, does he have a distended stomach?
He did though. You know, that was it Mbga? Which show was it?
I think a little bit of the Arnolds, for sure.
There was a shot of him, as Mark just said, when they do the back double, and his stomach.
For sure, yeah. And he was off. He got penalised. But the guy, and that was spoken about, but the rest of the lineup, you're not really seeing that.
I think
you get penalised.
It's like there was nothing like that in the...
Yeah, but...
Yeah. I think that, sorry, Jack, the thing that Sarah you said about 20 minutes ago, whatever, there was like footage of someone backstage and all the competitors. And when the competitors are just stood there waiting to go on stage, all their stomachs are popping out.
Honestly, like seeing it was it. But I've seen this, right? My first example of seeing heavily muscled male bodybuilders, actually Dan Mason's. He did the Tampa Pro.
Dan Manson, yeah.
He was there, and it's the first time I'd seen like him and my mentor Austin Stout at the height of off season, and I was like, "Fucking hell, it's wild!" Because you obviously do the front and the vacuum in. It's like see the whole process, and they breathe out, go to the side pose, and I was like, "Whoa!" Obviously, this is off season, but it was such a different experience to what I'd seen before. You see,
I think things more documented now,
that's true.
And we don't see as much shit as what the bodybuilders are doing and what the cycles were and what they would, how they would come off. Obviously they're going to be in magazines and the one fucking video that they did, they're going to be at the best, looking the best, talking that they're always on shit and whatever. But nowadays, bodybuilders have stories. They have vlogging all the time. They have this, that, the other.
We've got more access.
Everywhere. Yeah, people are doing
And that's more opinions.
podcasts and shit, more opinions. So I think, is it softer? In some ways, there are softer people. There's more people in it. But the best bodybuilders, they've still got to be on their shit, man. They're still on their shit. They're still working like Dorian, I reckon.
Yeah, if you cherry pick, then yes, it's softer, but also you can cherry pick the other way. So
yeah, exactly.
Two sides.
How do coaches know what division to suggest to new bodybuilders? Periods.
So I would say we spoke about this a bit with female categories, that this is maybe more to do with female categories in regards to when you diet down. So, for example, when we were talking about Ryan, your client that you've tried to speak with could be bikini. It's something we see in wellness. Again, I obviously mentioned that before. I get people say to me, I'm wellness, and I'm like, no, I am fucking not. Stop saying that. Fuck off. Because I'm not. But in off season, I am lower dominant. Yeah, okay, I've grown my glutes, I've grown my legs, but they're not wellness. When I diet down, guess what? I'm bikini. So there is a massive misconception. What I'll also add to this is from a coaching standpoint, we do get clients come to us that have an emotional bias towards what their wants are. Wants and needs are different things in competitive bodybuilding. They're two separate fucking things. It'd be like me, and I've said this before, probably on this podcast, me going, well, I want to do figure, so I'm going to do figure. No, I respect, if I do figure, I need to be fucking figure. So we have to be realistic with this because sometimes we get pushback from clients. And I'd like to know your thoughts. It's not necessarily easy when you are coaching someone, they're paying for the service. You don't want to be a fucking arsehole. Yes, we need to tell the truth and be honest. But they're seeing things on social media, their mates at the gym are saying that it can be quite washy water.
It's like someone who's like obsessed with bodybuilding, one of your clients, they love it, they want to compete, and they say to, I want to compete, like, you think I can do classic? And you could turn around, you look, and all honesty is, you could do physique, you could do men's physique, and they get like heartbroken by it. I'm like, mate, you're still competing. I mean, just telling the truth, you want to go on there, if you want to compete, your upper body's pretty up to par, but your legs are shit. And unfortunately, if you worry you want to do it, you could do men's physique. And they're like, what? Like, I'm classic. Like, mate, you're not classic. Fucking hell.
There's other guys as well who they're a small bodybuilder, so they assume that's classic.
They just fit into the weight cap, and it's like, no. I think so. What I always try to take into account what the client actually wants out of competing. Do you want to step on stage, or do they want to be winning? And that will be the difference between what standard I hold them to. So if someone's like, I want to be a classic physique pro, I'm like, okay, if they haven't got the structure, it's like, okay, well, we need to build muscle anyway. We can build muscle. If that starts creating a classic physique, well, yeah, cool, whatever. But you've got to be thinking years in advance or whatever. And you've got to be approaching it like this. Now, if someone's like, I want to just compete and step on stage and I want to be just competing as classic physique, I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. But this is what to expect. I feel like you would benefit if you want to place the best, it'd be here. But it's one of them.
Yeah, right? It's are we ticking a box or are we being competitive?
It's managing expectations with what they say. And this is where this is what bodybuilding, again, doesn't change what bodybuilding requires. At the end of the day, it's better to be honest, to brutally honest, to go, listen, you need a fuck ton more muscle, or you don't have the structure, or, this, that, the other, or like, fuck, we can't do a show in 6 weeks because you're fat, It's like, you might need an extra few years. It's, if you don't want to accept that now, you're going to have an even worse time when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what?
You've got to be cruel to be kind sometimes, man.
I've actually lost a client from doing that. They wanted to compete, and I told them that they were not ready that year, and they were like, "Cool." And about 2 or 3 weeks later, they just stopped, and they went with someone else.
Yeah.
I've had, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had.
How many people like, you know, how much muscle could I gain in a year? Could I put on 20 pounds naturally? I'm like, probably not.
Not
Okay, they don't want to do it. I'm like, cool.
Also, I
sounds-
think as well there is, I don't know if you guys would have come across this, depending on the federation you choose. I mean, I've been to some federations like say UKUP, or even when I went to a pure elite one, where people do like 5 or 6 categories. So maybe not so in the men's perhaps, but and it's obviously different for NPC, but perhaps females would do like a model category and then a bikini.
International model, all that shit.
Yeah, and then a bikini one as well.
Yummy mummy.
Yeah, and I mean,
Mums with tattoos.
yeah, I know. Mum with a tattoo. I'm like, how many tattoos do you have? What size do they need to be, and how many children?
One tattoo.
Mum with
Like,
tattoo. Oh,
I guess if you wanted to experience, like, if you're getting into it, you want to see where you want to direct your off season and get a reliable comparison to, say, bikini and model. Which one you place better in, which one your physique fares better in, and you're in condition. I guess that's a potential as well.
you know when you go to one of them shows and there's a person that comes out in every single category. Do you know?
Yeah.
Funny enough, you know you mentioned The Simpsons earlier. Do you remember? do you remember Troy McClure?
Yeah.
And he's in everything. Like they go to like he's in like a fast food place. He's in a restaurant. He's in a film. Literally, and you're like, I've fucking seen this already. What the fuck?
I know it is. I wonder as well if we think about this from like the client perspective. If you were like, I'm not really sure what category I am. I don't know where I want to direct the off. Like, if I want to pursue one that's more muscle, but I might actually be more that's let. I don't know. Maybe that's if you manage. This is the whole point. What Jack said. If you manage the expectations as a coach and explain this is so individual and unique though, and this is where it's difficult if there's critique online and stuff about what you decide to do as a competitor. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Maybe they want to fucking do it.
Yeah, I think the important one is like, look, you can do that. You can do whatever category you want, but if you want to win, if winning is like of high priority to you, then you need to reconsider.
What would you say if someone was like, well, no, I'd just like to try, X category, and you've said to them, look, you don't have a muscle, we can get you in condition. If you want to do it so we can see if you can last the prep, if you like the show, if you'll then commit to me in an off season as a coach, do you think that would be viable? Like, because I do to a certain degree.
Yeah, no, I do as well. And I think, as you just mentioned there, it's like tolerance testing. Like
Yeah.
this is like, let's see how you fare. Let's see how you get on. So I definitely think, and you can take a lot from it, can't you? You can take a lot from it, and then also once they're lean, you can then slingshot them into a growth phase really well. And yeah,
And you can also, as a coach, say, okay, so this you've actually then got footage, right? So from a coaching standpoint, you can say, look, you need a long off season. If that's the example. They
Data
commit to the
collection.
off-season. Yeah, they commit to the off season. They go, okay, so like you said, I am too small. Okay, I commit to you as a coach. Let's do an off season. Let's go again. Because I think that sometimes, like when I first competed, I was absolutely not competitive. I was a small alien. I could get lean. But my coach wanted to see if I could even do a prep and step on stage.
yeah.
Then I got a bit better. Then I started winning shows. I looked fucking horrendous on stage. Like, yeah, lean, but as I say, an alien, not competitive. But how could I buy into a process if I can't step on stage till I've got enough muscle? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard.
Also, I think losing sometimes is one of the best lessons.
Oh
So
yeah.
when you see yourself next to people who are good, you're like, oh, fuck. Fuck.
Some people like will go, oh fuck it, and they'll cry about it. Maybe they make an excuse or or you look at that and go, okay, This is what I need to do.
I need to
Perspective.
work.
Yeah, they've got to lick their
That's
wounds
it.
first and then see
Yeah.
the show photos and go,
Yeah, you go, right,
I
levels.
was just like, I've done it. I've actually done it. That's enough.
Hey, I've actually had clients before who were absolutely spanked on stage, and they've then sent me their photos and gone, "I reckon I beat that guy. I have no idea why I came fifth." And I'm like,
Do you know what, mate? There's nothing worse than when a coach goes and starts making bullshit excuses.
I know.
It's like, you should have. To be fair, some clients don't want to. I do think you need to pick your timing with saying it. You know, like if a client just comes off stage, they've lost or whatever, you go, see, so you lost because of this, and this, you know, and you're like, oh fuck, you know.
One of my best mates did that to me once. I was driving home in the car and I'd come like third or fourth, whatever it was, and he just started fucking laying it on me. Flat out in the car, in the back of the car. I'm like, fucking hell, mate. Could you have waited a fucking day or two?
Did you lose your rag? Did you lose your rag?
No, I was just too zoned out, wasn't I? I wanted to cry a bit. I'm like, fucking hell. All right.
Yeah.
But he had the point. He just had the worst timing.
That's it. Timing is a lot, and I think if someone asks me, what's your opinion, I will always be honest. And yeah,
Let's talk about it Monday.
I've had people.
If you are honest and you say, look, this is your first outing or even second outing, you're going to need more muscle, but let's see how you fare. Let's help you learn.
But I've also had coaches ask me, they're like, oh, Drecky's going to win. I'm like, I reckon, or do you not reckon he should have won, my client? I'm like, I can see why he's lost because of this. They don't want to hear it.
They don't like it.
Right, cool. I'm definitely not the person, man. I'm definitely not a yes man. I'm definitely not.
No.
I'm going to try to break down and be because I'll do it with myself, man. I will look at my own shit. I'm like, why did I lose? You know?
Yeah.
And there might have been a show where I'm like, I'm sure they see it. I am sure they see it. But more times than not, I'm like, okay, I can see the argument.
Do you find that very often, immediately, it's quite hard, but then when you look back, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It takes time to lick your wounds, that sometimes.
And instantly, with anything, you're going to have an emotional reaction, and then you can be more objective down the line. It's even when I was taking my check-in photos, I had to look at them later in the day because all the time they just look shit. As soon as I took them, and then it would be later in the day, I could look at it and be a little.
Yeah, I agree on that. Even
objective.
the next day, you look at them completely different. The next day, even.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Oh, I like this. So it's when you respond to anything instantly, if people say, "Oh, trust your gut," it's like, no, it's usually emotional.
Not when you're depleted. You haven't got.
Just give it. Just sit on it a bit.
Your gut is not okay.
Do not trust your gut when you're depleted. No way.
No, because that'll then you'll be buying a house and
I spoke about this on a solo one the other day. I was like, don't be surprised if you get the urge to maybe buy a new car in a prep if you've got the money.
Prep costs a lot of money. Prep costs a lot of money, and not for all the reasons you think.
No.
Dopamine. It's dopamine searching. We are dopamine deprived.
Or you wake up and you go on Amazon for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck?
You're like I remember gaining a trainer addiction. It's like, do you know what? I've never been a trainer guy, but I really like trainers now. Maybe this is me. I'm like, no, don't. It's like Interstellar when he's like watching himself. It's like, no, stop.
I do it. I import trainers from America, £350.
Whoa.
Yeah, man, I've got a trainer thing.
Yeah,
I used to. I've calmed down a bit now.
Yeah, I had to stop myself from like.
Yeah,
I had to.
I have an addictive person. I think we all do, right?
I think we all do. Yeah.
And when I see myself, I'm like, stop right now.
See, talking about it now makes me just want to have a little scroll and
move
on, please.
I can see Mark's like,
holding it together, sir. Holding it together.
Yeah. Right, guys. We're pretty much at that 2 hour mark.
Wow.
Yeah,
Marvelous.
That's fun. Do you know what? I think we've done. This is our 8th episode, I think.
Woo! We should have a 10 episode anniversary.
Yeah, what could we
Yeah.
do? Like,
Special. A special.
we need to
We
do
should-
something that's like
We should
theme
do
related to 10.
maybe a live one or something at some
That
point,
sounds good.
or a
That
group
100%,
like
yeah.
in-person one, or
Yeah, in here.
yeah, all in the van. God, it looked
Fucking
like
brilliant,
a
right?
fucking. It would look like a police sting
There's
or some
plenty of room
shit.
for the Ryan there. Look,
You know,
Is there
Like
enough
some
room for the
fucking-
pot of jam?
I've got 2 twisting seats. I've got 2 captain's seats, so we could all be facing each other. I'm telling you,
Would be like,
works a treat.
We should do a fancy dress.
oh,
I'm going to come as Jack.
I'm coming as Sarah.
I'll be Ryan then.
oh wait, Mark, you've been growing your hair, so I can just like do a little.
Yes. Why don't we let the viewers decide?
Yeah, what is there any ideas of what you want us to do? I'm seeing Matt Holcroft, who's the one who shared the story the other day, on Wednesday, because we're doing an in-person pod at Destination. Ryan and Mark, I don't know if you know him, but what a fucking transformation!
Yeah.
Bloody hell! We'll have to put it in the group, Jack. Wild, and he's got a sick physique. He's got a sick physique.
Do you know what's crazy?
Put it in the WhatsApp. Put it in the WhatsApp.
It's like I remember him at the beginning of this, like going and getting the bug of the gym, and now he just looks great. He looks like he's competed.
Nice
He's
guy.
great physique, but he's lost. It's like one of those people who's lost a fucking immense amount of weight. He's had the loose skin surgery, and he's just you look at him like that's. Yeah,
I'm going to put this in the group before we finish, so you can do a live reaction to this, because he is honestly one of the nicest guys as well, isn't he, Jack? Like, what a fucking guy!
Yeah,
this is his profile. But if you go down onto the 3rd row down, the middle one, that's his transformation. Fucking.
Let's tell you what, I'll get it up if I can. My computer.
Oh, this is the guy who commented last week about you looking a bit rough.
Yeah. He's coming on my podcast this Wednesday at the gym. We're doing in person because he lives in Stoke-on-Trent as well.
When you say 3rd line down, hang on. Oh shit!
Let's have a look. Get it up, Jack. Get it up.
I'll get it up. I'll get it up, baby.
That one, isn't it?
Oh wow.
Fuck.
Such a nice.
I'm trying to go so fast. There we go.
I've got it there. That'll do.
There we are.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Fucking hell.
And do you know what's cool? He's on an actual bodybuilding stage, not a best transformation stage.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
and he is so through and through bodybuilding. He owns a supplement shop, but he is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Just a G. He is, and I'm always like, my G, and he's like, my G.
Nice. That's cool.
Congrats, Matt. Well done, mate. Good work, mate. Good
So
work.
I'm seeing him on Wednesday for in person, but even if he suggests what we need to, look at this.
Mad.
So maybe either Matt or someone, one of our listeners, tell us what to do. We're quite open characters, as you can tell. Whatever you require from us.
We could do it all combined. We could do a live in person, dressed up, whatever.
I would love to do a Comic-Con thing.
That's a good show.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
Let me make a few calls.
You would actually. God,
What would I be? What would I be? Would I have to wear like some
Wonder Woman, obviously.
Would I wear
Wonder
leather?
Woman would be up there.
Dolphin Woman.
I mean, if you want
Catwoman.
to.
Oh, hang on a minute. Easy now.
That's a different thing.
We're getting second.
Let's get into leather suits.
Imagine me just sitting here in a fucking like all-in-one leather.
Boom.
Oh,
I'm trying to think. Yeah, Wonder Woman's up there, Probably.
It's got to be in it. It's got to
we'll
be.
be able to concentrate.
Hey, Black Widow.
Like that. Will the concentration be there, guys?
No.
If I'm sitting there.
Yeah, I do this daily. Of course it will. What are you trying to say?
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. You just tell me what to do and I do it.
Oh,
Okay.
it's getting worse.
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. Sarah's just Sarah's got the dirty mind, right?
Oh,
My,
It's on
my,
test.
my veins come out now. My vein when I'm getting
Woo.
I'm getting
Oh
hot.
shit. Oh, right. Oof. So am I.
Yeah.
Right then.
Okay, cool. On that
On that
note,
fucking
goodbye, guys.
on that fucking bombshell, yeah.
Yeah.
On the next one. See you later. Peace.
Yeah.
Cheers,
See you in a
guys.
bit, guys.